Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Blair and today is the first video in a new series I'm going to be doing here on my channel. Basically, I am really wanting to go through my entire makeup collection and really make sure that I love everything that I own and I don't have makeup sitting in these drawers that never gets used and will never be used. So I'm basically going to go through each category and curate my collection. So we're going to do blush and bronzer, concealer, foundation, highlighters, eyeshadow palettes, everything. I am going to split this up though into separate videos. I was going to do it all at once, but I feel like that will be way too much at one time and this video will be 3 hours long. So I'm going to split it up and today we're going to do concealers, which is definitely going to be a tough category for me because I have a lot of concealers and I love them. That's one of my favorite makeup products to try. But we're going to go through and I'm going to be really ruthless, you guys. I am not just going to keep things to keep them. So today we're going to do concealers, then each video going forward will be a different category, and at the end I will share my curated makeup collection with you. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm kind of moving towards more of a curated makeup collection kind of mindset for this channel, and I really want to know what I have and know that everything that I own serves some kind of purpose. I've kind of been working on minimizing clutter in my life, and I've done it with my clothes, I've done it with skincare, and now I want to do it with makeup. So that's what we're working on. This is not going to be a minimalist collection. I will never be, I won't say never, but I would assume I will never be a makeup minimalist because I love it too much and I love trying new things and having different options to choose from. I just want to make sure I'm not holding on to things for no reason. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we're going to start with concealer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Let's go ahead and get into curating my concealers. Okay, let's get started. So a lot of you have probably seen I keep my concealers in this little organizer this is where I ordered them from. It's called the Cosmetic Archive, but unfortunately I don't think they sell these anymore. I went online and tried to find these organizers again and I could not find them. So I'm wondering if they are not in business anymore. I don't know, but I do know there are some similar things you can get on Etsy. So I'll see if I can find them. Anyway, so we're gonna go through these and I've got to be ruthless, you guys. I'm not gonna keep things that I'm undecided about. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, first concealer is the Bareminerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. This is in the shade Light. I also have it in the shade Fair, and I know for sure that Fair is too light for me. Light works really well for me. So I am going to pass on the Fair shade and I'm going to keep Light. This is a really nice lightweight concealer. I don't have any other concealers that I would say are this texture. It is a true serum texture. It's very liquidy. Let's swatch some for you. Very, very lightweight, and this is the shade Light. I actually got mine at TJ Maxx, I'm pretty sure. So be on the lookout for this there if you're interested in it, but you can see it is very, very lightweight. Like I just kind of patted it out with my finger and it's already blended in. So this is very nice. It's a pretty good medium coverage, I would say, and I'm definitely going to keep the light shade. Moving on to another Bareminerals concealer. These are the Bare Pro concealers from Bareminerals. These are the stick concealers, and Honestly, I don't use these that often, mainly because they're very thick, and I really would only use them for like covering a blemish or something on my face. I don't use these very often. This one is in the shade Fair Light Warm 02. And then I also have, let's see, what is this? Fair Light Neutral number 3. Fair Light Neutral number 3. And then Fair Light Warm down here. Actually, Fair Light Warm is very light on me. Probably not going to keep Fair Light Warm, and I'll probably end up keeping, well, you know what? Fair Light, the neutral shade, is actually a pretty good match for me. Like, you can't even see it when I blend it in. So I think I'm going to keep this one and get rid of Fair Light Warm. One of my biggest goals for concealer is to make sure I'm not keeping things that are too light for me, because I feel like there for a while I had a very bad habit of buying concealers that were way too light, and I do not like that look at all. Every time I use a concealer that's too light, I end up hating my makeup or totally starting over and redoing it, because I just don't love that look for myself. Next, we have the Glossier Stretch Concealer. This I actually really love. It's more of, I would say, like a light to light medium coverage. I like this more in the summertime for like a no makeup kind of look. I wear the shade G11, but I do like this and I do want to keep it. And moving on. Okay, something else you'll notice is I have 2 of a lot of these concealers, and I've got to stop doing that. I don't know why I feel the need to buy 2 colors and things. But anyway, so this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer. And honestly, I never, ever reach for this. In fact, I couldn't tell you the last time I used either one of these. This is the shade 1N, and then this is the shade 1W. 1N is definitely too light, so I'm going to get rid of that one. I may keep 1W because it does match my actual skin tone pretty well. And I feel like this hasn't been used in so long, I haven't given this one enough of a chance to say I don't want it. So I'm going to put this in the maybe pile, and we'll go through the maybes again at the end. Next, we have the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer, and this I wear in the shade Wheat. This is a really, really nice concealer. It reminds me of kind of Shape Tape, but just a little bit more creamy and a little bit more hydrating, but this is a really good color for me, so I do want to keep that one. Next, we have the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer, and I thought, oh, I do have 2. I have 2 of these actually. Again, I've got to stop this. I have Fair and Light. Fair, I know before I even swatch it, yeah, is super, super light and pinky, which I don't like, so I'm definitely getting rid of that one. And then the light shade is there. So the light shade actually looks pretty good. Honestly, I've used this a few times. I wasn't crazy about it, so I think I'm gonna pass that one on. Moving on, look at this, you guys. This is crazy. I have 3 of these. These are the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Concealers. And I have the shade 1.5 Warm, which I can tell is way too yellowy. I have this, I think this is 1 Neutral, which I can tell is too light and it almost looks kind of pinky. And then I have 1 W, which is super light. Honestly, I don't like any of these colors. Honestly, this concealer is okay. It's not like a favorite for me, but I know because I don't like these colors, I won't use them. So those are all gonna go. And last one in this little square is this. This is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric in the shade two, and I believe this is a pretty good color for me. Yeah, it's a pretty good color match for me, and I actually really like this concealer, so I will be keeping that one. Okay, I feel pretty good. I've so far only kept 4, and I'm getting rid of 8, so I feel pretty good about this. Moving on to this one. Okay, this is a definite keep. You guys know I love, love, love the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I wear the shade Madeline, and I'm obsessed with this, so I will definitely be keeping that. And definitely be keeping my NARS Radiant Creamy. Again, I love, love, love this. I wear this in the same shade Madeline. I'm going to try to swatch most of these just in case you want to know, like, yes, like this is the best. That is a perfect color for me. I love this one. All right, okay, you guys, this is a new favorite concealer, and I cannot believe I've gone this long thinking I didn't like this. It's kind of similar to how I've been with the NARS, but a few weeks ago I was in Sephora, and Hourglass recently came out with the mini size of the Vanish Airbrush concealer, and I got a new shade. This is the shade Cedar, and this shade is so perfect for me. It works on my face and it works under my eyes. Like truly, I can use this all over. In fact, today I have this on my face with a tinted SPF underneath. And that's all I have. I don't have foundation on today. I'm obsessed with this. I will definitely be buying the full size of this. I'm kind of mad I only bought a mini now, but it's okay. So that is the shade Cedar right there. And I love this. We'll definitely be buying the full size of that one. Moving on to another one I do really like. This is Pat McGrath. And let's see, the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer in the shade L5. I'll swatch this one for you. Honestly, actually this one kind of kills me, you guys. I feel like this color is a little bit light for me. Like this is it right there. Compared to these other two, is really, really light, and but it kills me because I really like this concealer. That one's gonna have to go in the maybe. I said I was gonna be ruthless, so I'm really trying, but I do like that concealer. Okay, moving on. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever used this in a video, but this is the Clé de Peau concealer, the one that is expensive, very expensive, and was like a cult favorite of makeup artists, or I don't know. I bought this one time, I think when Neiman Marcus was having some kind of sale or something. I don't know. It was on sale. I did not pay full price for it. That's it right there. So it actually matches me pretty well. This is the shade Ivory. This is also the one that has SPF 25. This is not something I use a lot because it's so expensive, but I do like it. Maybe not for under my eyes, but on my face, I don't mind it. So I'm gonna keep this one. Oh, one that I will definitely be getting rid of. And honestly, I wouldn't say that I really dislike this concealer, but this color, you guys, is way, way, way too light. This is the Rare Beauty concealer. That's it right there. This is the shade 180W, and I got this because this is the shade I got in the foundation, and I read something that said you should get the same shade in both, but no, I don't like this shade at all. It's way too light. So that will definitely be going. I haven't used that enough to say if I like it or not, mainly because every time I can't get over the fact that my under eyes look white, and I don't like that. So I can't really comment on that concealer. Okay, these next ones are really painful. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away. Again, I have two shades. I have shade 3 and shade 4. You guys, I love this concealer, but you just look at this. First of all, they get so gross, and then you can't get the lid off. You have to like yank it to get the lid off of it. But look what happens to these concealers. And I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know, but no matter what I do, this concealer just oozes out, and it's so nice. I would give anything if they would redo this in a doe foot, with a doe foot applicator, because I love the way it looks. And I use these a lot, especially if I do like a full face of Charlotte Tilbury or something, but they're so messy. They're so messy. These are going in the maybe pile because really I don't love that they make a mess no matter what you do. So that's going in the maybe pile. Ooh, okay, this is the Clarins Instant Concealer, and this is in the shade number 1. This concealer, unless it's changed, actually only comes in 3 shades, I think. 1, 2, and 3. This is the lightest one. That is it right there. And honestly, I bought this because a long time ago on the Pixie Woo's YouTube channel, they were using this concealer one time, and it looks so good on them. And I've always loved the Pixie Woo's Salmon Nick Chapman. So anything they use that looks good, I automatically feel like I need it in my life. But I don't know about this color. I never reach for it, and it's very old. I don't even know how long I've had this. So I think I'm gonna pass that one on as well. Okay, next we have this, the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer, and this is in the shade 1.5 Neutral. I really like this one. We'll definitely be keeping this. I will say, I do think I could go up 1 shade in this, but it's not so light that I won't use it. That's it right there. But I love this concealer. If you haven't tried this one, this is a good one. So this is, I would say, a really good medium coverage. It's not super thin, but it's not super thick. It's right in between, pretty hydrating for under the eyes, and I like this. I actually want to get a shade in this that matches my face, because I would really like to use this like all over as like a foundation, because I like the finish of it. So I might do that in the future, but I will be keeping this one. All right, we've emptied out 2. Let's move on to this one. First one on top here is Tarte Shape Tape, and to be honest, I don't use this a lot, but there are some times when I like this, when I actually do put on a good bit of makeup. For some makeup looks, I like this concealer, so I will be keeping it. I wear the shade Light Neutral, 22 in. So that is it right there, and I will keep this. I like this. I used to have several shades of this as well, but I finally did figure out this is the best shade for me, Light Neutral, and I am gonna keep this one. Ooh, okay, this is the Bobbi Brown Instant Full Cover Concealer. You guys know I love Bobbi Brown. I love my Bobbi Brown corrector. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. But this concealer, you guys, is not my favorite. It's very thick and almost a little bit sticky. Yeah, I don't find myself reaching for it. It's not horrible, but it's just not something that I get like excited to use. So I think I am gonna pass that one on. It is very thick, and it doesn't dry down too well. It's very tacky feeling. So I'm gonna move on, or pass that one on. Next we have Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. This is in the shade number 4. This concealer is very pretty. I wish it had a little bit more coverage than it does. But it is a pretty concealer. It is very similar to the Luminous Silk foundation, which is why I wanted it. And this color is actually pretty good for me. This is definitely more of a light makeup concealer. but it's pretty. So I will be keeping that one. Again, with the two concealers, guys. This is the Kylie Jenner concealer, or the Kylie Cosmetics concealer. I have, let's see, the shade Ivory, which is there, and the shade Bone, which is there, which I could definitely tell is way too light. So Bone is definitely going, and actually Ivory is gonna go too because I never use that concealer. I have way too many that I really like, and that's just not one of my favorites. Okay, moving on. You guys, look at this. 3 of these. Why? Why do I have 3 of the Too Faced Born This Way? Okay, so one of them I know for a fact is way too light. This is it. It's called the shade Snow. That's it right there. It's like white on me. So that one's gonna go. Then we have the shade Vanilla. This one is not as light, but I think this one is like really, really yellow toned. Yeah, it's very, I don't know if you can tell, but in person it is very, very yellow. Every time I use it, I don't like the way it looks, so that one's gonna go. Now this is the newest color I have, and this one is pretty good. This is the shade Light Beige, and this is definitely the best for me of the 3. Yeah, so that is the shade Light Beige right there, and that one I have used and it works well. I like the color, it's not too light, and I'm gonna keep this one. So we'll keep Light Beige and get rid of the other 2. Moving on, we have this one. Now, this is the Zoeva Authentic Skin Perfector Retouch Concealer, and this one is in the shade Certain, number 50, I think that's the name. This I have not used very much at all. I don't think I've ever used this in a video. I could be wrong. The color is pretty good for me. So that's it blended out. You can't even see it. Honestly, I feel like this has kind of gotten stuck in the bottom of this organizer, and it probably has not had a fair shot because I don't even remember trying this, to be honest. So I think it's a good color, and I'm gonna keep this and try this out. So maybe I'll use this in an upcoming video or something, but I'm gonna keep this for now. Moving on, 2 from Kaja. This is the Don't Settle concealer, and I have these shades, let's see, Waffles. It's like a pretty good color. And the shade Fortune Cookie. Ooh, that looks like a good color, actually. Honestly, again, I'm pretty sure that I bought these at TJ Maxx, or I know I bought them at TJ Maxx. So that's Fortune Cookie. I don't know if you can see, and then that is Waffles. Waffles is definitely lighter and more cool toned, or more warm toned. Fortune Cookie is very peachy. Honestly, guys, I don't know if I've tried these either. I have no memory of this. Yeah, I have no memory of these, to be honest. These are gonna go in the maybe pile because I'm not sure about those. That's really bad. That's when you know you have too many concealers. You don't know if you've even tried that one or not. Next is this one, the Tarte Hydro Sealer. This is from the Rainforest of the Sea line. Let me try this. What shade is this? 20 in Light Neutral. That's it right there. This one I've used a few times and I did like it. It's not like it didn't make a huge first impression on me, but it's a good color. It's not too light. That one's going in the maybe pile also for now. Next we have Nude Sticks. So this container is apparently the one I don't use very much because almost every concealer in here I don't have really, really solid opinions on. So this is from Nude Sticks. This is the Nude Fix Cream Concealer, and this is in the shade Nude 3. Oh my gosh, this looks straight up pink. I don't know if you can tell, but in person, yeah, this looks like pink. Yeah, definitely don't love the color on this. I have used this and I remember I wasn't wild about it, so I think that one is gonna go. Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. This I really like, especially when I wear the Super Serum Skin Tint. And that is a swatch of it right there. This is a good color for me. Let's blend this in. Yeah, so this kind of reminds me of the Bareminerals Bare Skin Concealer. This one does not have as much coverage as that one. It's definitely more of a light coverage, but it's nice. It's pretty for lighter makeup days, so I'm gonna keep that one. And last, and this one is Makeup Forever Ultra HD. This is in the shade 22, and I'm like 99% sure this is too light. Yep. Yeah, this was in my phase of buying concealers that are too light. Look how light that is. I actually really like this concealer, and I will probably repurchase this at some point in a darker shade. But yeah, that's way too light. This one is nice though if you like a concealer that you don't really need to set. This one truly sets down to more of a matte finish. You really don't need to set it. It's a self-setting concealer, which I like. Moving on to some drugstore concealers now. These are mainly drugstore on this side. All right, first one, this is definitely gonna go. This is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Concealer in the shade Fair Light. I used this like twice and was not crazy about it at all. The color range is strange in this concealer. It's they run very light and they run very pinky. Like this is the shade Fair Light, and these essentially give no coverage in my opinion. So this is just not a good color and just not something I really love. So I'm gonna be getting rid of that one. Next, we have two of these. Where is my other one? This concealer is nice. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. Again, I have two shades. I have the shade Classic Ivory, which I think is the one that, yeah, look at that. Way too light. Too light. That's gonna go. And this is the shade Golden Ivory. Oh gosh, this one's even lighter than the other one. So that's Golden Ivory. That's way too light. This was again in the phase when I was buying my concealers. Way too light for me. So that is the Ivory, Classic Ivory. What was that? Yeah, Classic Ivory. That one's not bad when you blend it in. The Golden Ivory is way too light. Classic Ivory isn't bad though. So hard because I like this concealer. All right, Classic Ivory is going in the maybe pile. Golden Ivory is definitely going. Again, we have 3 of the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealers. This one is a dark bronzer shade for me. Actually, this is Tan Neutral. And I do actually like this for bronzer, so I will be keeping that. Then for the concealers, I have 2. I have the shade Light Peach and Light Sand. Light Sand, I'm like 99% sure is too light for me. Well, so that's the shade Light Sand. And then this is the shade Light Peach. This is the one I use the most when I use this. Yeah, so that's Light Peach right there. I'm gonna keep Light Peach. Every time I use Light Sand, I feel like I get the white look under my eyes again. But I do actually like this concealer, so I'm gonna keep Light Peach and get rid of Light Sand. All right, moving on, we have the Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. These, I did a video on Neutrogena a while ago, and actually it's one of my most viewed videos on my channel. This one, I like the concealer itself, but I feel like I don't have a good shade. Like, look at these two colors. So what is this? This is in the shade Light. Don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but it is straight up pink. It almost looks like a corrector, to be honest. And then this is the shade, what is this? Sugar, light number 3. And that looks almost orange on my hand. So I never reach for these because, like, I feel like you can even tell in the packaging, like the colors are just very extreme. There's no good neutral undertone, I feel like. So this is a nice concealer if you can find a shade. I do like it. It's a pretty good light medium coverage, but I don't have a good shade for myself, so I'm gonna get rid of those. Next is a favorite of a lot of people, the Milani Conceal and Perfect. So I wear the shade Light Vanilla 120, which is here. This is actually a decent color for me. I can't ever decide how I feel about this, to be honest. I feel like I have other concealers I always reach for over this one, but then sometimes I think maybe I just need to give this more of a chance and like put it in my everyday drawer or something. This one I'm gonna hold on to for now since the color is good. All right. Oh, okay. Look at this, you guys. If you've been watching my videos from the beginning, you will recognize these concealers. This is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. And as you can see, these are very well loved. These are old. These definitely need to be thrown away. I don't even know. I know I had these when I first started my YouTube channel. Especially these three, like you can see it's separating in here. Let's see. I think this is the newest shade that I got. Yeah, that's too light though. That's it right there. It's the shade Light Rose. So that one is gonna go. I believe I need to buy a new one of these, to be honest. I think this one was the one that matched me the best. This is the shade Light. Well, that looks really light too, actually. No, that's too light. That's Light Natural. Then we have Light Beige. Maybe this was the one that matched me pretty well. Okay, yeah, this one matches me pretty well. Light Beige, but this is old. Like you can see how much I've used. So I'm gonna get rid of it, but I'm gonna buy a new one because this for a long time was my favorite concealer ever. This is really affordable. It's like $6 and it gives great coverage. It's not super thick like Shape Tape or anything, but it does cover really, really well. And I believe they've actually extended the shade range on these recently. So I got these at Ulta, or you can order them online, I'm sure, but I need to pick up new ones because these are definitely expired. And then let's see. Why do I have, like, this is way too light also. Yeah, that's way too light. That's the shade Porcelain. So all of those are gonna go for now, but I will repurchase those in another, or probably in Light Beige, which is the color that was up here. But really good from Ulta, Catrice. So this, I did a video on this not that long ago. This is the L'Oreal True Match Corrector, or it's the concealer, eye cream and a concealer. And this is, I believe, the lightest shade in 1-2. Honestly, this is just not, I didn't hate it, but it's not something that I see myself reaching for. I'm just not the kind of person that is gonna use a concealer that's also meant to be an eye cream. I'm too extra for that. I would always use an eye cream separately. And this also did not mesh well with my Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream when I tried to use it underneath. So yeah, unfortunately this is just not my favorite thing in the world. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. Next, okay, I just got this. This is by e.l.f. This is their new Flawless Brightening Concealer. I haven't used this, definitely have not used this enough to tell you if I like it or not. What I will say is right off the bat, I cannot stand this applicator, but I haven't used this. I think I've used it once and I liked it, but I need to use this more. So I am gonna keep this one. And then we have L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. This is in the shade Nude Beige. This is, let's see, I think this is a pretty good color for me. This is a very, oh no, that's way too light actually. This is a very lightweight concealer. This is definitely not a ton of coverage and it's very hydrating. So if you have more mature under eyes, I think you might like this. It is very, very thin though, so you have to be kind of careful when you apply it. You don't want to do too much because it can definitely crease because it's such a light or a thin formula. This is not my favorite, so I am going to be getting rid of it. It's not bad, but not something I really love to reach for. And then last but not least is the NYX Born to Glow Concealer. This is the shade Vanilla. And let's see. This, I think, is a good shade for me. I actually like this, but this is one that definitely kind of gets hidden in my concealers. But it's a good color for me. I just blended it out there. You can't really see it, which is good. So this I will hang on to, although again, I do not like this applicator. These little sponge tips. I wish they would stop doing this with concealers. I'm just not a fan, but I am gonna keep this because I do like it. Okay, I think we're making progress. We only have these two left. These are more drugstore concealers back here. So let's do this one. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer. So this is the concealer that came out with the Conceal and Hydrate foundation. It's not the original Conceal and Define. This was like the second one that came out. Let me see, what shade is this? This is the shade C5. And this is actually a good color for me. And I like this. This one does not get enough love from me either, to be honest. It gets stuck back here and I feel like it just isn't seen ever, but it's actually pretty nice. It's really good coverage and it's pretty hydrating. It's definitely not drying. The original Conceal and Define concealer was very, very drying to me. So I actually don't own that anymore, but this one is pretty good. So I'm gonna keep that one. And this is actually the latest concealer, I think, that came out from the Conceal and Define from Revolution. This is the Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer. This is in, it's a really, really large concealer. Like that's my hand. This is in the shade C6. And this is another one I actually like. But it kind of, so that's it right there. This one is, I think the color is okay. I haven't used this in a while. Again, anything that gets stuck back here is, I feel bad for it because it just never gets seen. It's just always back here in the back. So I feel like I need to pick one of these two. I don't need to keep both. So I'm gonna put those in the maybe pile for now and we'll decide at the end. Moving on, another concealer I have two of, you guys. I am not gonna do this again. This is from number 7. This is the Lift and Illuminate Serum Concealer. Again, I have two. So this one is the shade Fair. This one is the shade Light. Fair, definitely too fair. Light, Gosh, this color looks good. I haven't used this in a long time. The color on this looks really good. This is not one that when I used it in the past, I disliked it. It's just not something that like wowed me. I don't know. If I'm undecided, I'm gonna get rid of it. So we're gonna move on from that one. Next, we have the original e.l.f. Camo Concealer. So I'm not a fan of the original e.l.f. Camo. It's too drying for me, and this color is not good for me either. So that one I am gonna pass on. Next, we have the cult favorite, Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is in the shade Light. Again, with this sponge packaging that I really wish they would stop using. That's the shade Light. This is a really good color for me. And I do like this concealer. Again, it never gets used because it's stuck back here. So I'm gonna hold on to this. This is a fairly new one also. So for now, I'm gonna keep this one. And last but not least in here, we have this. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. These I actually really like. Again, the colors on these are kind of iffy though. This one is the shade Light 40N. This is pretty good for under my eyes. That's it right there. I don't like this on my face. It doesn't match my face as well, but it's more of a neutral undertone, so I do like it under my eyes. This color is so yellow. This is Light 45W. And yeah, this is straight up yellow. Again, it's like really yellow and really pinky. I don't know why there's not a shade in between. Like looking at these now, neither one of those are good shades for me. Honestly, I'm gonna get rid of these. It makes me sad because I actually really like this concealer, but again, if the color isn't good, I won't use it. So I'm gonna move on from those. Okay, one more compartment back here, and these are actually all correctors. So we will just go ahead and do these. This one is the Sephora Collection Bright Future Corrector, and this one is in the shade Melon. This is a really good, very peachy corrector. So this is, like you can see, it's very peachy. So this is for someone that has extreme darkness under their eyes, and when I use this, I have to use this sparingly because it is so peachy, but it works really well. So I am gonna hold on to this one. Next we have Urban Decay Naked Skin. This is one of my favorite correctors. This is in the shade Peach. This one has kind of become hard to find. I'm not sure what's happening with it. That's it right there. So you can see how much lighter that one is than the Sephora Collection one. But this is one of my favorite correctors. I love this. I hope they're not going to discontinue this because this is so good. So I will definitely be keeping that one. I also have it in the shade, this is the yellow color. I used to use this a long time ago, like on my cheek area for the places that I have redness, but I don't do that anymore, to be honest. So I am going to get rid of this. I don't know how I feel about yellow concealers for redness. I feel like, yeah, they can kind of tone it down a little, but then sometimes it's just another layer of things you're adding on top. So I don't really do that anymore. So I will be getting rid of that one. Next is my all-time favorite. So this is not going anywhere. The Bobbi Brown Corrector. I am almost done with this. I actually pulled this out of my everyday drawer, so I'm going to put it back, but we'll always have this when I run out. I will definitely repurchase it. Next, we have Charlotte Tilbury, the Magic Vanish Correctors. I have two of them. I have the shade Medium and the shade Fair. So as you can see, Medium is over here. This is deeper. This one is a little bit more fair, obviously. Honestly, the medium one works the best for me, but I do sometimes like to use both of these. I'll use this one first, and then I'll use the tiniest bit of fair right in the inner corner just to really brighten that up. So I'm going to keep both of these. Really great cream correctors. Would definitely recommend those. And moving on, oh you guys, this is so good. I will definitely keep this also. Several of you have told me that you got this after I recommended it and you like it. This is by Believe Beauty and it's the Brighten Up Color Correcting Concealer in the shade Light Medium. It is such a good corrector and I think this is $4 at Dollar Tree. It's so good for an affordable option for a color corrector. You cannot go wrong with this one. Ooh, okay. This one, I've had this for a long time. This is by Catrice and it's the Camouflage Cream. And this is what it looks like. This one is actually very, more of a brightening corrector. I wouldn't say it does the best job of concealing darkness. It definitely is more of a brightener for under your eyes, which is not typically what I go for. So I don't reach for this a ton. So I'm gonna pass that one on. Okay, now we have the Age Rewind, and this is in the brightener shade. This is more of a peachy color. This is pretty good if you don't have severe darkness under your eyes. If you do, this is not gonna cut it. It's not enough coverage and it's not peachy enough to really mask the discoloration, in my opinion. So I'm gonna get rid of this one just because I know I'm not gonna choose this over those other correctors that I'm keeping. But if you just have a slight bluish purple tone under your eyes, not much, you might really like this in the brightener shade. Next we have Kevyn Aucoin. What is this? Supernatural Concealer Corrector. And this, I got this at TJ Maxx a long time ago, you guys. Honestly, I'm not quite sure why they call this a corrector, because to me it just looks like a concealer. And I've used this a few times, wasn't super crazy about it. So I'm definitely going to pass that one on. All right, next we have a cult favorite. I feel like everybody loves this. This is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. And this is the light shade, the light medium. This is it. Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about this one. This is kind of similar to that Catrice corrector. It's very light. Like, let me swatch this next to the others. Do you see how light that is? So I could not use this on its own. I would have to put something over the top of it because it's so light. But I like the texture of it, and it works nicely if you put something over the top of it. So this I'm going to hold on to for now. Still kind of playing around with that one though to see how I feel about it. Okay, next we have the MAC Studio Fix Conceal and Correct palette in the shade Light. This I like. I don't use all the colors in here, but I use some of them and I mix some of them together to make a shade for myself. I don't use this a lot, but I do like to have something like this just for when I'm feeling very creative and I feel like mixing things. I like to use something like this, so I will be keeping that. And last but not least, we have the Color Science Total Eye 3-in-1 Renewal Therapy. So this is, it's kind of an all-in-one. It's an eye cream and it has a peachy color to it. However, I am like 99% sure. Well, I was gonna say I feel like this is old, but it blended out okay. This is actually really nice. If you just want to put something on under your eyes, it has SPF 35. It is 7.9% titanium dioxide and 6.7% zinc. So this is like sunscreen and corrector all in one. The only thing is it's so expensive, but I do like it. It's nice and I want to use this up since I have it. So I will hang on to this one. Okay, so I went ahead and put all the ones I'm getting rid of in here. Wow, that's a lot. I feel pretty good about that. Alright, now let's revisit these I put in the maybe pile. Honestly, these two from Kaja, honestly, I'm not excited about these, and I don't know. I just feel like I'm not gonna reach for them, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those. This one is really, really painful, Pat McGrath, because I really like this, but it's not a, like now I look at it and it doesn't look that light. That's it rubbed in. This one I'm gonna keep for now. I feel like it's slightly light, but I can make this work because I like this. So I'm gonna hold on to this for now, but I may try to get a better color in that eventually. Tarte Rainforest of the Sea. This one I like, and this is a good color, so I am gonna keep this one. Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer. No. Looking at that color looks too yellow to me. That one's gonna go. Covergirl True Blend. I mean, I can tell by looking at that, that's too light. That one's gonna go. Charlotte Tilbury, I don't like the packaging, but I like this too much to get rid of it. So I'm gonna keep that one. And then for these final two from Revolution, what to do? Let me swatch them one more time. So that is the Conceal and Hydrate. And that is the Infinite. Honestly, because I can't decide, I think that's my answer. I'm gonna get rid of both of these. And that is it, you guys. Look, it's all empty. Okay, now what I wanna do is, so these are the ones that I'm keeping, which still looks like a lot, but honestly, I'm getting rid of all of those. So I feel like this is pretty good. And some of these are correctors also. So I'm going to put my little organizer back in here and just put these back real quick. Okay, so this is it. I feel like this is absolutely manageable, and I feel really good about these choices. I'm glad I now know everything that I have in here. I definitely want to focus more on these right here. These I like, but I feel like they just don't get enough attention. These definitely get the most attention, I would say. My correctors are back there, and then we have Drugstore. I only kept a few Drugstore ones, you guys, but a lot of them I didn't keep because I didn't like the color that I have, so I'll get a few more of those, I'm sure, at some point, but I'm really happy with this. So hope you guys enjoyed seeing me kind of curate my concealer collection. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this and are excited to see part 2 and part 3. Like I said, I'm going to split this up and do a separate video for foundation. I'll probably do blush and bronzer together. I'll do eyeshadow palettes, and I'm just going to go through my whole collection and curate them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you liked it. Please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the rest of my curating my collection series. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.
Sunday morning, waking up with you. We got no plans, we got nothing to